This man is on fire. I lied. My bit was about Alicia Keys.
Yeah, it's funny. The title's misleading because he literally is not ever.
Yeah, there's no point in it where he is on fire.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there are some people in the movie that
end up being on fire.
Yeah, they don't start. They're not.
Yeah, well,
fire people. They're not on fire from the beginning.
This is not about peaceful protesting.
No.
And setting yourself on fire for a cause.
I don't know that I would ever do that.
I don't know if I would either.
Not without proper protection. Practice.
Oh yeah.
Practice safe
If
pyrotechnics.
in the near to distant future, Jarvis, I got a professional on like a set that knows how to set somebody on fire like safely, would you do it?
Sure.
So full-time movie fans, we need you to subscribe and share with everybody so we can set Jarvis on fire.
Maybe we'll do that for like our thousandth.
That's like a 50,000.
Oh
thing.
yeah, okay.
Those guys are expensive.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to get there. So like and subscribe. I'm going to do this right off the bat because I know that like
we'll both
attention
forget
spans are
immediately.
very short, so we'll get it right off the bat.
Millie, I think, wants to join us today.
Like, subscribe if you enjoy hanging out with us.
Join us, puppy. Get up here. Come on. The full-time movie fans, they love you.
Oh, there you go.
There she is.
There you go.
And she is gonna. Yep, perfect. We got a little view of her there, and great view of her. Yes.
Great view she's all up in your face.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she's gonna be here now. Go ahead and intro us in there, Jarvis.
Oh yeah. This is Full-Time Movie Fans. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. I'm your host, Millie,
and I'm also your host, Millie. She's being a good sport about it, but she does not like it.
Yeah. So yeah, we're here. Here we are.
Jarvis wanted us to talk about Man on Fire, the Denzel Washington movie.
Yeah, I'm always down for a good Denzel Washington movie.
I'm always up for one.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm not a fan of action movies.
Yeah, this is one that you just hadn't seen before, and I was like, that's kind of crazy to me.
Because I don't watch action movies.
But you've seen Taken.
When it came out, because my dad was watching it on the TV.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Denzel. So Denzel's done a few of these types of movies. With Man on Fire, which I think is still my favorite. And then you've got like the Equalizer movies, which I believe are remakes.
Man on Fire is also a remake.
Oh, that's true. I did see that somewhere.
So the thing in the 80s was action movies, and then the thing in the early 2000s was making the action movies, but on digital.
Yeah.
Which
with new characters.
the aesthetic of this movie was we couldn't do this on film. With like the slowing down of things and it being weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Wasn't it made in the like mid 2000s?
2003.
Early 2000s, so.
In 2003.
A little while ago.
Yeah, I was just a wee 6-year-old. You want to tell everyone how old you were?
Oh, man. If you were 6, then I was probably what?
You should pull a Tommy Wiseau and go, yeah, I was also 6.
No, I wasn't. I was probably...
Do you remember that part in The Disaster Artist?
I was 8.
Where he comes to pick up...
No, that's not true.
Greg Sestero, and his mom goes, how old are you? And he said, I'm his age. He goes, 19? He goes, yeah, I'm 19. Great part.
I think I was getting ready to go to... No. I was in high school still when that one came out.
Okay. I was not.
You were...
I bet you if I texted my dad and asked him if he...
I was about to say...
Rugrats.
You were playing with blocks.
I was watching Rugrats.
I don't know what 6-year-olds do these days.
If I ask my dad if he's seen this movie, he'd probably tell me yes. So if that's any indication for anybody...
Maybe we could do a feature where we get your dad's hot takes.
I would. I would
watches.
love to watch you two spend 6 hours talking about just one movie because you would not have the option for any shorter.
Oh yeah, That might be for the once we get to the membership. We had a membership.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a 6-hour
great.
video,
Well-
we'll put it on the membership page.
I think it's you and my dad are both yappers. Y'all love to
How
talk.
dare you?
You are a yapper, don't lie. If you had to choose
I've been known to yap.
between talking and not talking, I generally am the talker. And like between me and Sybil, I'm the talker for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But with other people, I'm usually the quieter one.
Gotcha.
Like Josh is the yapper.
Yeah,
Everyone knows that one though.
for sure. When somebody wants to talk more than me, I let them.
That's good.
For the most part.
We have a backlog that says otherwise, but
I just like to interject jabs here and there.
it's true. You
Whenever
do.
something funny comes to mind,
It's
it's
really
funny
true.
to me.
He does do
I'll
that
throw
a
it
lot.
out there. So, anyways, this is a movie that's better than Taken, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I don't remember a thing about Taken besides them. I do not
This
know
is-
who you are.
Yeah,
but
let's
I
get
will
into
find you,
our first
and I will
impressions
kill
part
you.
of the podcast.
You go ahead and do yours because I saw it like
just
an
a few
hour
minutes
ago.
yeah. Well, yeah. So my first impressions were this movie is crazy good. So I have this strong sense of justice, and I love to see people being brought to justice, especially when they're horrible criminals.
That's something we have in common is that if the villain gets a real good square punch to the face, we're both like, yeah.
Yeah, this
is good.
The second half of this movie is square punches to the face.
Oh, in creative fashion, yeah.
Not in a literal sense most of the time.
No, I wish he would have just thrown one, you know?
Yeah, but he throws a lot more than just punches at these bad guys. So it really hit that satisfaction button for me. Denzel is an incredible actor. Dakota Fanning is fantastic. So yeah, my first impression was
Millie's just dead
I
stare.
think my first impression was like, if you would have asked me if I got out of the theater, I would have been like, oh, 10 out of 10. So great. It's
When did you
obviously
watch
one
it?
that I recommended to you because
Yeah.
I did like it so much. I'm like, we need to do this one.
When did you watch it originally?
Oh man, I probably watched it in college, which was
So a couple years after
sometime
it came out then.
2006
Okay.
was when I went to college.
We'll say pre-2010. Yeah?
Post
Post 2010.
No.
Yeah, pre-2010.
Pre 2010.
Yeah.
Between 2006 and
And then I saw it 15 years later,
just a few minutes ago.
just a few minutes ago. So I told Jarvis, and I've said this before, I'm not an action movies person. Millie's dead stare is very funny in both angles.
Yeah, this is her stare is just kind of how Michael feels about action movies.
Anyways, so the first hour of this 2.5 hour movie is just a lot of setup, which is not a bad thing. It was good setup. Like
Yeah.
I was engaged, I was paying attention. I'm not a big fan of when action movies do there's a reason they do it, but they start out the movie with just a bunch of like, oh, and a bunch of
Explosions.
things are happening all at once, and this guy's on the side of a freeway and he's naked, and oh, the gunshots are happening.
Bullets are flying everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh wow, it's like we came to see
Explosions
an
in the back.
action movie.
Yeah, there's a
That's
guy.
crazy.
There's a guy actually on fire in the background.
yeah. That's the man. He's on fire.
Yeah.
The movie's not about him, but it's
He
it's what
barely
happens.
gets any acknowledgement at all.
Yeah,
The actual man on
it's
fire.
it's because they're just trying to set the premise, which is you're in Mexico City in the 80s, no, in the early 2000s, because it takes place early 2000s,
Yeah.
and people are getting kidnapped over and over for ransom, and it's a
Yeah.
big problem.
Yeah, it
So-
was a big problem. Real true. I don't know if this is based off a true story, but I know that.
It's not. I checked.
Oh, okay.
I trust me.
He did the research.
Every time they do every time we do an action movie, I go, is not to spoil my hot take for later, but is it bad or is it based on a true story? Which I'm gonna say, just for Jarvis' sake, for the next like 45 minutes, it's not bad. The ending is.
I definitely disagree, but I will also mention that the main bad guy is my name twin. His name is Daniel.
That is true.
I wasn't a fan.
And
of
let me ask you this, as a fellow Daniel, do you feel with your strong sense of justice that he got what was coming to him?
No, I think he could have. I think he could have been punished more for sure. So, I think.
Anyways,
he should have
we'll
been
discuss that later. I have information that Jarvis didn't even know about this for later. So, first hour of the movie, lots of setup. It's real cute. It turns into what's that one with Dwayne the Rock Johnson, where he gets a kid? The Game Plan.
Oh, okay.
That one.
I don't know that I've seen that one.
That it's the first hour of the movie is the game plan, and the second hour of the movie is Denzel Washington cauterizing fingers that he just severed.
I love it.
And it's fine because the whole time you're like, yeah, I mean these people steal kids, so they could
The least they can do. Yeah, the least they can do is get some of their fingers cut off.
Yeah, I think it's only fair.
Because they got those sticky fingers, so you need to get rid of them.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. He also blew up a nightclub. That was cool. And then
Are we still on your first impression? Or are we getting into the plot already?
Nope, I'm doing my first impression, and the ending fell short for me, and felt like it was missing something, and that's because it was. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that. I know for a fact. Okay. I took a bath right after I finished watching it so that I could do a little research.
In the tub?
In the tub.
That's where you do your best research?
Yeah, tub research.
That's the research center.
Tub, where my wife reads fanfic of TV shows she watched 20 years ago, and no, not 20 years ago. She was, definitely not 20 years ago. You think you're old.
Yeah.
My wife makes me feel old because I can't say in 2005 that I was coherent enough to be watching shows. She definitely wasn't. But she reads her fanfics and I research movie things.
Mm.
Millie hopped down because we heard a slight thunder and now she's scared, so she's underneath our table.
Yeah, she's safe now.
Which you've never seen. And
you never will see unless you give us
subscribe and see the post that Jarvis is going to make on the channel community page that shows the production setup with Millie in it, because I'm texting him the picture right now and he's going to post it as a community post, and you can see it if you're not subscribed, but you can also see it easier if you do.
Yep.
You like that? You like that for a post?
I do.
Promotional
like
post? So let's get into the plot of this movie, because it is devilishly simple. And it's just how action movies work, really, is that the plot's really straightforward, and then there's just a lot of stuff going on.
Sure, but the difference in this one is that there's a lot of depth in it because they spend so much time with the character development early on.
It's the game plan.
Which a lot of people do not like. I've noticed that when I've said, hey, you haven't seen Man on Fire, let's watch this together. And I watch it and I could see them.
Where's the action?
Yeah, because 30 minutes passes, 40 minutes passes, and they're just kind of like, when is the movie going to start? You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it has started.
I love a slow burn. I love a slow burn. So.
You could argue that the problem with Taken is that you don't know who his daughter is and you don't know who he is, and you really don't care.
Yeah, So, sorry about the burp.
It's okay. I'll cut it out in post.
Okay, great. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, so we get introduction with probably the worst cliche film editing from the early 2000s when everything got digital.
Yeah, sure.
It didn't take me. Well, it took me out of the movie a couple of times where I was like, "Stop!" If you don't know what I'm talking about and you haven't watched this movie and you don't really want to, do you remember you wouldn't download a car? That's the editing style. You remember that? You remember that ad? You wouldn't download a car. Don't download movies illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that exact.
It is that. You're right.
Style.
You're right. It's a product of its time.
It is definitely.
And it has not aged well.
No.
that specific thing.
Well,
I'm glad they did away with that.
That and another weird cliche thing that they do that I know is just like them not prepping in advance is, you know, those like parts of the movie where it slows down but it's like choppy frame rate, whatever. They didn't intend to do that. They went in post and went, oh, you know, it'd be cool and interesting is if we slowed this down, and then the editor would go, oh, but you don't have the frame rate for that. And then you go,
No problem.
we'll do it.
Yeah.
It's stylized. It looks cool.
Yeah.
And the editor probably goes,
Does it though?
okay, looks cool, I guess. Shit looks good now.
He checked his bank account to make sure the check cleared first and was like, okay, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
You've already paid me.
Which
so-
is the right thing to do in that situation, just to be clear.
Yeah.
It's you can uphold integrity of art, but if the dude insists and he paid you and you already got the money, hey.
Yeah, because
You already got the money.
the full saying to the customer's always right is in matters of taste
In matters of taste.
and the taste
And
of
movies is all a matter of taste.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, hey, you.
How'd you like that episode? Did you like it?
You like movies? You like this one?
Do ya?
You should subscribe to this
Yeah,
channel right
like
now.
Also, as well.
Yeah. You got friends? Yeah, you do.
Do you? Hopefully.
Show it to them.
Prove
Show
it.
this to them.
Prove it. Prove it to us. You got friends.
There's other videos to watch too. Why don't you watch those if you're so cool?
Yeah. Prove you're not a bot. Leave a comment.
Nerd.